For so many years now, young Cameroonians have been plagued with this mindset, with this rhetoric that no matter what we do, nothing is going to change. That there is no hope via the ballot box. If you're a young Cameroonian, perhaps you might share this same mindset. And if you do, I tell you that you're not alone. You are probably one of so many other young people like you who have the same perception of life, who have the same perception of our country as a whole. And I won't blame or castigate you for it because it's a common trend. It's what we have grown up to know. It's what we have grown up to believe. I come today to you with a message of hope. I come today to you with a message of encouragement because after thorough thinking, after thorough evaluation and um, reflection, I try to compare our country, Cameroon, with other African countries that have been able to achieve this so desired breakthrough of um, of political transition, of true democracy. Countries that left from a similar place like where we are, place of autocracy, of dictatorship, of electoral malpractice, fraud, and name it, but have been able to crack this code. And I ask myself, what did they do? Or what are they doing that we are not doing? What did they do that we didn't do? I'll just give you some examples of some of those countries. Senegal. Senegal just 2 years ago was able to have the voices of the people heard. The people decided what they wanted. Okay. And they were able to choose their leader, the leader of the people. And despite the repression and the manipulation that the powers that be at the time wanted to implement to clamp down people's voices or people's opinions or to steal the votes, the power of the people was just so overwhelming for any of those plans to work. Trying to compare this reality with our Cameroonian reality, it left me with one conclusion. This whole story and rhetoric of nothing will change via the ballot box is nothing but just a well orchestrated plan by the powers that be to keep us away from the electoral process of our country. The question is why? And that question we should ask ourselves as Cameroonians. Why is it that the powers that be are trying to make us shy away from our electoral duties, our electoral responsibilities? Because they know something we don't know. What is that? Our power as a people. One thing many Cameroonians, especially young Cameroonians below the age of 40, don't know is that there is power in the masses. The people have power. That's one thing we don't know. And that is one thing they are doing everything possible to keep us away from. Because the moment we realize our strength, our capability, and our potential as a people to determine and to pave our future, the kind of lives we want to live, the kind of country we want to have, that moment we shall experience the change we so desire. That is why they keep on making us to see these stories. They keep on looking for avenues to remind us about this. One of such avenues, which of course you might probably be using as an example or as justifiable reason why you don't engage yourself in this process, is because whether we vote or we don't vote, like you can complete it, right? It's a story we all say. Whether you vote or you don't vote, nothing will change. The winner is already known. I put it to you that this reality is only and has only ever been possible when we don't engage ourselves in elections. Let me give you some statistics to solidify this point. The last presidential elections which took place in this country, 2018, the number of registered voters, no, sorry, the number of people who voted in this country was about 3 million people. The population at that time of Cameroon was said to, although no census has been recorded for, I think, over almost 2 decades now. No census has been recorded in this country. What we are working on is approximations. At that time, based on the approximations, we are 25 to 27 million Cameroonians. Just about 3 million people voted. That's less than 15% of the entire population of this country. Less than 15% of the population voted. How will the powers that be not rig such process? When you, watching me, did not vote, how would they not do that? Had it been about 60 to 70% of Cameroonians voted, had it been the number of registered people who participated in the electoral process was somewhere around, say, 60 to 70%, that should be in the neighborhoods of about 15 to 18 million people who voted in that election. Do you really think that the powers that be would have been able to steal or rig these elections? No, because we all were only murmuring at the back. Most of those who were all over the place saying all sorts of things, making noise all over the place, themselves did not vote. Most of us young people who were like, elections were stolen, the elections have been stolen, we are just saying so because that is what we watched and we heard from others, but we did not vote. So what voice do you have when you yourself know you do not participate in the process? That is the reality on the ground. That is the reality. We Cameroonians, we don't want to engage in the electoral process of this country. It's like we love when our thoughts are, when our suspicions come true, our guesses come true. It's like, are we supposed to pride ourselves in this reality? Is it something we're supposed to pride ourselves in, that our elections are being stolen? Are we supposed to pride ourselves in that, or are we supposed to wake up and change it? It's a reality. Cameroonians don't engage in the electoral process of their country. We rather choose to sit back and complain. And I promise you, 7 years has passed. Another 7 years is about to start. These 7 years, let me ask you, how much damage, how much tragedy, how much suffering were we made to endure by these same people that we do not want to vote out of power? How much suffering were we faced to endure? What we could do was to sit back and complain. This and that, oh, roads are bad, oh, electricity is this, so prices of food is this, so price of fuel is this, so. But the only justifiable way, or the only justifiable means through which you can make this change happen, you don't want to engage in it. So who do you want to come in your place to give you what you want if you don't want to reach out to grab it? Other countries have done it. Other countries are doing it. Why are you not doing it? Why are we as a people not doing it? I mean, Cameroonians are so disengaged and so uninterested in the political affairs of the country. We have a mindset of, no, politics is a dirty game, oh, politics is this, oh. But that politics, my friend, is the singular aspect of this country, of every country, that determines all the other aspects. Why will you let a handful of people determine your life and the life of your generations to come, whereas you have the power to make a change, to change the status quo? Why will you take such risk as to allow something as important as the political affairs of your country, which has the potential of shaping every other aspect of your life? Why will you take that risk of leaving it in the hands of people you don't trust, or people that you don't want? If you want change, the only way we can achieve change is if we mobilize ourselves together as a people, one block, solid, and go for this change. No other way out. There is no other way out. Many political parties have given us a green light. They have given us a roadmap that we can follow. We complain that our elections are going to be stolen. Yes, these things probably might have been happening. But political parties that have had experience, that have been able to see, have been able to study this system, they have given us a plan that we can follow to be able to make this change. But the problem is we as a people are not engaged in our political affairs. If you ask an average Cameroonian youth right now that who are the presidential candidates of this current upcoming presidential elections, which is in less than 6 to 7 months to come, I bet you that out of 10 Cameroonians, only one Cameroonian will be able to give you 3 names. Only one will be, out of 10 Cameroonian youths, only one will be able to give you 3 names. I'm not talking about giving you names and profiling, I'm just talking about names. Only one out of 10 will be able to give you 3 names. That is how disconnected Cameroonians are from their national affairs. How do we want change to come? Do you think manners fall from heaven? Manners doesn't fall from heaven. Every country that has been able to achieve change, study it. Look in the annals of history. Every country that has been able to achieve change, the turning point for them was the point where the people decided to take their destinies into their own hands. That is the turning point. No God came from anywhere. No Holy Spirit came from anywhere to make that change for them. They decided by themselves. They took their destinies into their hands and they fought for the change they needed. God just comes and blesses. But you need to work for God to bless. God doesn't come and give to somebody with an empty hand. You need to show your works, and then God blesses. How can God bless us if we ourselves don't want the change? How? I would like to end this video on a positive note to tell you out there, my friends, brothers and sisters, that there is hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. There's victory. This 2025 is going to be a turning point for all of us. This 2025 is going to see a wind of change in this country. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We have endured enough. It is time for change, for real change to happen. But this is only going to happen if I'm talking to you, first, start by getting your voter's card. Second, inscribing yourself in the electoral list. If you don't know, I'm going to publish a next video showing you how you can go about this process, because it's sad. Many Cameroonians don't even know how or where to go about it. This is how unengaged we are. But anyway, I won't blame us. It is the whole system that has kept us in such a manner. But I'm going to explain to us how we can follow all these steps to get registered. After being registered in the electoral list, the third step that I would advise us to go or to do is that you should study the presidential candidates. Not all of them are bad. Forget all these stories you hear all over the place. Not all of them are bad. Politics is not a dirty game. Our politicians have decided to make it dirty, but it doesn't mean it's a dirty game. There are many good candidates out there. Study them. Profile them. Look at their works. Look at what they have been able to achieve for this country. I believe you can know somebody from the way the person talks to know if this person is legitimate or not. Pick one, the one whose goals and ambitions aligns with your view, with your vision for what a good country should look like. Pick one of them. It might be anybody. It can even be the current president if that is your choice. But at least pick somebody. Don't just sit at the sidelines and watch like a spectator how other people define your life. Pick someone, a presidential candidate, and follow him or her. And on the set day, get ready, fold your sleeves, and go vote. Because your voice counts, your voice matters. My name is Mr. P. If you've not liked, please endeavor to like this video, share to as many people out there as possible, many people who you think might be interested in hearing this story. If you share a similar view as the one I just demonstrated, share to people who you know might help them. Share to many young people. This video is mostly targeted to young people, young Cameroonians, because these are the most unengaged people of our society in the political affairs, and unfortunately the most populated Cameroonians. More than 60% of Cameroonians population are made up of young people. It's sad. How can you explain that the majority of Cameroonians don't engage in the most important aspect, and we are the Cameroon of tomorrow? The future which the political arm of our country is building is our future, because they themselves are aging. They are living at the end of their at the ending period of their lives. We is our future, and we don't want to engage in it, and we are the majority. So share this video to as many young Cameroonians there as possible that this message might be helpful to. Please go get your voters card, register yourself in the electoral list, profile all the political candidates and pick one, follow them, sensitize others. I forgot mentioning this point, very crucial. Sensitize other young people like you. Make them to understand that there's power in unity. There's power in togetherness. Together we stand, divided we fall. Sensitize them, encourage others to get engaged. Let us go together as one block to the ballot box. Let us go together as one army to the ballot box. I mean, we are 70% of Cameroon. 70% of Cameroon can vote for these presidential elections. That is the target we should give ourselves. We should give ourselves a target of 70% as versus the 15% we had. This presidential election will be different. 70% of Cameroonians will vote in this election. That is my goal. That should be your goal, or even more. That you will sensitize as many Cameroonians so that we all should get so engaged that 70% is our target. My name is Mr. E. Share, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more of such interesting content. And if you have any contribution or proposal in the that you may want to share with us, please make it on the comment section, and stay tuned, and we will bring more of such very interesting contents in other editions. Take care.